Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Manifest the Rest with me, Svetlana. Before we dive into today's episode, I just want to say a huge thank you to everyone who's been listening, sharing, and really just supporting the podcast. It means so much to me. Every single review, every message that I see that I receive, I get so lit up. And I'm so excited to go record like 17,000 more episodes right then and there. So I wanted to say a big thank you to those of you have done that. If you have not yet, I would love it if you did. It only takes a minute and it allows the podcast to reach more people. Reach more people who are ready to level up their mindset, start manifesting their dreams, and creating a life that they are truly, truly obsessed with. So I thank you and I thank you in advance. All right, but let's dive into today's episode. Today's episode is all about why being realistic is ruining your life, or to be less dramatic, why being realistic is holding you back. And I got inspired to record this on my walk today, my usual morning Lucky Girl walk, as I have rebranded them from Hot Girl Walks. And I'm always just in awe at how beautiful my walks are. Like California is stunning. The mountains, the beach, the water, the palm trees, the sunshine, it's still amazes me 4 years later, which I love. But today I was taking this walk and I wasn't listening to a podcast or music or anything at all. I was just walking and appreciating everything. I woke up in this energy, like over the top, like obsessed in love with my life. Like, wow. So I've been riding out this wave today. But that's what I was doing on my walk. I was just thinking, like, wow, I am living this amazing life and I've created it. Like I'm living this because of the choices I've made. And I truly, genuinely believe I am living my dream life. That's how I feel. I'm not just saying that because I have this podcast and I'm a manifestation coach. I'm saying this because this is how I feel. And I know that I'm going to continue manifesting everything that I want and continue expanding on this dream life of mine. And it's all because I stopped being realistic. I stopped like settling. And I don't want to just say settle because I feel like there's this negative connotation. And it is, I mean, settling is a little bit negative, right? We're not going for it. But I just wanted more. I was like, you know what? I'm going to dream bigger. This isn't all it is. And that's what happened. And so I took the risk. I jumped. I moved across the country. I went for this. I started a podcast. I started a business. Like I'm doing it. And I'm so proud of myself and I'm just so happy. And again, going back to the topic here, it's because I stopped being realistic. I didn't tell myself, I didn't convince myself, no, I need to stay in this job. Like my first job that I quit out of college. It wasn't for me. I wasn't going to stay in it. I didn't convince myself that this is a smart choice. I told myself there is more, and I did that. And then I got like my dream job at that time. And then I kept moving up and I loved it and I fell more in love with life. And then I was like, I don't need to stay in Boston. I can do it. I can move across the country. And I did it. I didn't know anybody. I knew like two people that didn't even live in the city that I moved to. And I knew I'll figure it out. I'll meet people. I'll go for it. This is my dream. So let's be real. Let's get back into it. Being realistic is boring. Nobody wakes up and is excited to say, wow, I can't wait to live my realistic life today. No, like that's not the vibe. And when we were kids, let's go back a little bit. When we were kids, we wanted to be mermaids. We wanted to be astronauts. We wanted to be ice cream taste testers, sometimes all at once. But somewhere along the way, people started telling us to be more realistic, which is heartbreaking. But guess what? That's when life started to get dull. And nobody was doing this on purpose. No one was trying to ruin your and crush your dreams of being an ice cream taste tester. They were just wanted you, anybody that kind of gave you these limiting beliefs, instilled this idea that you have to be practical and realistic. They just wanted you to succeed. They wanted you to live a life where you didn't struggle. Because society has conditioned us to believe the only way to succeed and not struggle is to go down this specific path. And this episode is all about imagination versus being realistic. It's all about why your subconscious mind keeps trying to play it safe, where this conditioning came from, how we accidentally traded our big dreams for these responsible ones, and why you need to start dreaming way, way more, like obnoxiously more. Okay. So let's go back to the children. I want you to like imagine talking to a 5-year-old, or if there's a 5-year-old around you in your like household, ask them, what do they want to be? And they'll probably tell you, I want to be a princess, I want to be a scientist, I want to be a pop star, a rock star. Maybe they want to be a YouTuber nowadays. No hesitation. But if you ask a 30-year-old, they're gonna say like, I want a stable job and pay off my car, pay off my student loans. Big difference. Huge difference. And like, let me give you an example. Like, Walt Disney, he's, big imagination, Disney. He got fired from a newspaper or wherever, like magazine, because he lacked imagination or lacked creativity. And now his imagination literally created Disneyland, right? He didn't let those beliefs from other people, people telling him to be realistic, saying that's not possible, that's not going to happen. He didn't let that sink in. He kept going, and now we have Disneyland, Disney World. And honestly, when you think about it, all the fun things in life come from people who refuse to be realistic. Like music, movies, inventions, none of it was realistic at first. Not even fun things, but useful things. Electricity. Do you think everybody like lined up behind Benjamin Franklin being like, yes, brilliant. Like that's probably gonna happen. That's probably no, they were like, you're insane. What is electricity? We use fire. Right? Everything was crazy, a crazy idea. Cars, airplanes, like Apple, right? iPhones. That was insane. And now we thought self-driving cars were insane. I think we still kind of do think it's crazy, but never thought that would be a possibility. And now it's happening. Now we've got like AI. Everything starts as a wild idea. And it's from those people that didn't allow that societal conditioning sink into their mind. It didn't allow them to steer them off the path, their imaginative, creative path. Right. And again, nobody's trying to do this on purpose. But the way this happens is like your subconscious mind. It holds on to all this. It wants safety, right? Just like your parents, just like people around you, your family, school, like everybody that conditioned you this way, they just wanted you to be safe. That's kind of the summarized statement, the blanket statement here. And your subconscious mind, it's like that friend who always wants to go to the same restaurant because it feels safe, right? They know what to expect. They know the food quality. They know that they'll like it. Boom. That's what your subconscious mind likes to do. It wants to keep you safe. It's not trying to ruin your life. It's trying to protect you. But safety and expansion and growth don't work hand in hand, right? You have to get out of your comfort zone to succeed, to achieve new levels. Okay, but your subconscious mind doesn't like that. So when your mind has all of those limiting beliefs of money doesn't grow on trees, you can't just quit your job and do what you love. That's not possible. You can't start a business. It's going to fail. Most businesses fail. Or just like be grateful for what you have. Those beliefs that we get, that we hear from our parents, from teachers, from society, from media, they go into your subconscious mind, right? They sink in. These messages sink in, and suddenly your brain says, "Nope, let's just be realistic." But really, being realistic is just fear. That's all it is. It's fear disguised as being practical, as being smart, as being responsible. And as a result, you sabotage yourself. You self-sabotage. You don't apply to your dream job because it feels like a long shot, or let alone start a business. That because it feels like such a long shot, it's not going to work. You don't move to your dream city because it feels impractical. It feels unsafe. It feels hard. It feels scary. Staying in a like so-so relationship because it's stable, it's safe. I'm not going to meet somebody who's amazing and fun and romantic and successful and funny and this and that. No, like he's good enough. We're settling. We're afraid that we're not going to find that perfect person. We're afraid that we're not going to get that job if we apply. We're afraid of rejection. Or maybe you don't even ask somebody out because you think they're out of your league. Meanwhile, they're over there thinking the same exact thing. As a result, none of you ask each other out, and then this relationship doesn't blossom. But this is what happens. So it can be as big as wanting to become a rock star or a like pop star actress or an ice cream taste tester, or it can be as small as not applying for the job or not asking for the raise, right? I'm not going to ask for a raise or a promotion. Like we're in the middle, like there's inflation's going on. Nobody's getting raises. You don't know that. You don't know how much money the business has if like that's your position right now, right? You don't know what your boss is thinking. Maybe they're like, oh, she needs to stay. Like she's crushing it. Absolutely give her a promotion. Give her a bonus. But you don't know that if you don't try. Or maybe you don't pitch an idea because you don't think anyone's going to listen to you. Right? Maybe you're a new hire, so you don't even want to try to get your voice heard because no one's going to take you seriously. Well, that's just you in your mind. That's you thinking you're being realistic. Right? If we look up the definition of realistic, which I did, the definition says having or showing a sensible and practical idea of what can be achieved or expected. This definition pisses me off so much. I'm going to repeat it. Having or showing a sensible and practical idea of what can be achieved or expected. This is why I hate this is why being realistic is the worst thing ever. Who determines what's practical and what's sensible? Who determines what you can or cannot achieve? That's the part that really gets me. What can be achieved? There's no limit of what can be achieved. If you are determined enough and you want to do this, you're going to do it. We got people trying to go to Mars. Like, but the determination that these people have to go to Mars, they're going to do it. Right? So it is up to you. And imagination is the starting point of manifestation. Right? Again, like Katie said, the limit does not exist. Again, more examples. Oprah, she imagined a life way beyond her circumstances. And look where she is now. Steve Jobs dropped out of college, created Apple. No one believed in his company before. Cher. Cher is my favorite example. She wanted to be rich and iconic and famous. That was her desire, her dream. Cher told her mom, I am a rich man. Relentlessly went after it. People rejected her over and over and over again. And icon. Cher is an absolute icon. But I'll give you some like everyday examples. Again, dreaming of living by the beach. Here I did it. Personal example. I moved to California. Maybe you imagine a new opportunity. You start visualizing the possibility. Opportunities are going to start popping up. If you imagine being in a leadership position, you're going to start taking initiative more. But that's not going to happen if you don't dream about it. If you just think this is it, I'll wait till something happens. Well, first of all, that's not how manifestation works. We have to believe it, then we'll see it, not the opposite. But if you think that way, you're just going to go into work, do the same thing, just your responsibilities, and that's it. That's all that there is to it. Maybe you imagine yourself in a loving relationship. You picture this perfect person, right? You write down the entire list of everything that you want in a person. I just did a whole episode on love last week or the other week. This is what I did. I wrote down every single thing that I wanted in a person. And I thought it was a little crazy, but I was already in this manifestation world. So I was like, let's go for it. Wrote down all the qualities, all the characteristics, everything about this person. You're going to meet that person. You're going to start noticing people that you maybe overlooked before. And in my case, I manifested this human into my life. Less than like in a matter of months. But if I played realistically, I would have settled for somebody else that didn't like check off all of these boxes. But I wasn't realistic. I said, no, this is it. I'm going to set my boundaries. This is who I want. And that is exactly what I got. Imagination is literally your shopping catalog for the universe. If you don't pick something bold, you're just going to keep ordering, like, you're just going to keep getting the same thing, the basic package. I want the premium package. That's what you got to tell the universe. Or another analogy or metaphor, again, I don't know which one to use when, which word, but imagine like a blueprint for an apartment building or a house. You have a blueprint for an 800 square foot apartment. Great, boom. We have the foundation, we're going to build it. But that's it. You can't build anything bigger than that, anything beyond that because you need a blueprint. You got to like be prepared. We can't just start expanding if we don't have the foundation. Now, what if we have a blueprint for a giant, massive 12,000 square foot mansion? You have the blueprint. You know exactly what steps you need to take, what we need to do. We're going to build it room by room. It might take longer, but you have the option to actually build that massive dream house because you laid down the foundation, you laid down the blueprint, you may have the vision. But an apartment, a small 800 square foot apartment, you can't do bigger because that was your vision. That was your limited, realistic vision. I think that's brilliant. That example is brilliant. That's how I want you to start looking at your life. Cast a wider, like a wider net. Or do this exercise. This is my favorite exercise, the 100 wishes. Write down a list of 100 things that you want to manifest. When I first started, when I was more realistic with my dreams, I couldn't get past 30. Maybe I got like 35. I remember it so vividly because I was like, this is sad. I can't even come up with 100 wishes. And it's because I had those limits. I was maxed out. I was at the capacity, my upper limit of what I could do. So it pushes you to start thinking outside the box. I didn't write down things like a private jet or buying a yacht because I didn't think that was realistic based on my current reality. Right now, if I were to write down this list, and I probably will do this exercise today, since I'm telling you to, I always practice what I preach. Okay, reminder, I'm telling you things from experience. I'm always doing the things that I share with you. I'm not just gonna tell you random things because it's popular or it's, trending. But now you for sure know I will be writing down I want a private jet, I want a yacht, I want like another boat, I want like 15 houses. The limit does not exist. I don't care who sees this. It's not embarrassing to me because if I believe in it, I can make it happen. One way or another, I'll make it happen. But if I don't even believe in it, it's never going to be a possibility. If I don't even try, it's never going to happen. But if I try, if you try, you will get so much further. We know this, right? It's like the shoot for the moon, land amongst the stars, right? You can't get to the stars if you don't even shoot. I don't know where I'm going with that like phrase, but you get the idea. You have to go for it and you'll get somewhere further than the limited view that you were looking at. Again, everything that exists right now was once imaginary. This microphone, this computer, podcast didn't even exist before your phone. Like everything and anything. I'm trying to think of like more things that I have now, like slushy makers, ice cream makers, Starbucks. I don't really go to Starbucks anymore, right? We moved on from that. Your dream apartment, okay? Your apartment that you're currently living in or your house, it started as an idea. And before it got on Zillow, it was imagined. You imagined an apartment and then it popped up on Zillow. Or the actual like physical house, it was once on a Pinterest board in someone's head and then they built it. They created it. So everything once was a dream. And the difference between these people that achieve this massive success, right? All these like celebrities, athletes, like visionaries, inventors, everybody. There's no difference between you and me and them. Absolutely nothing, except for the fact that they went for it. The limitations that you come up with in your head, that is the only difference. That is literally the only difference. People that go after it and people that don't believe in themselves, people that think it's not realistic. Like athletes, professional athletes, they wanted to be in the Olympics, right? When they were younger, they dreamed of it, but they kept at it and they wanted it. They didn't say, oh, it's not possible. There's so many other athletes out there. I'm never going to be the one to get picked. With that attitude, you're not going to make it. You have to have a different mindset to be at that level competing worldwide. And we know that for sure. Yet we're still over here thinking small. And like I've said several times, this is big or small, going after it for the job, applying from your dream for your dream job versus not because you think there's too many people applying, they'll never pick you. winning the lottery. Like, you can't win if you don't play. Simple as that. You have to believe it's possible, and then there's a chance. And the more that you go for it, the more you believe in yourself, and the bigger you dream, like the more you're gonna achieve. Truly, you dream of the most ridiculous thing, you're gonna get so much further than if you dream so small. You dream of running your own company, you're gonna get so much farther along than if you just dream of getting promoted to a manager role. Right? So here is your challenge. I want you to dream recklessly. I want you to reflect. Reflect on your past dreams and see, where did you just stop dreaming because you didn't think it was realistic? Not because your dreams changed. That's very different. Your dreams absolutely can change. Mine have. I used to want to be a veterinarian when I was little. I think most kids did because it's the only thing we knew about with animals. No, I feel like so many of us wanted to do something with animals. But anyways, I shifted my dream because I didn't want to be in the medical field, not because I didn't think it was possible. So, changing your dreams is very different. The concept here, the idea that, or what I really want to be ingrained in your head today is that if you don't think it's possible, we have a problem because it's possible, right? The future you're dreaming of isn't unrealistic. It's just waiting to catch up. Reality is simply delayed imagination. Isn't that a fun quote? Reality is simply delayed imagination, like future reality. So again, I want you to write down your most unrealistic, over the top, delusional like version of your life. Okay, let's do like a future exercise. Imagine your future, something absolutely ridiculous, like, and ridiculous as in just like big dream. Imagine you own a giant yacht, you flying private here and there, you're popping champagne in the morning, you're doing this or that. And if that's not for you, that's fine. I'm just kind of spitting out ideas. Maybe you love your 9 to 5. Maybe that is your dream. You want to work for somebody else because you don't want the stressors of owning a company. That is fine. Again, there's no right or wrong. There's no better or worse. It's what your imagination is. But on the side, like what else? There must be more that you want in life. Do you want to own your dream house? Do you want to own a horse? Right? There's so many different things that you could do. But where are you thinking it's unrealistic based on your current reality or based on what you've experienced in the past or based on the people around you? Right? Even if you have these responsibilities, you got bills to pay, great. You can still save while paying for those bills. Even if you are super busy, right? You have a very busy job. Maybe you work multiple jobs and you have kids, you have no time. You have time. You're making up excuses. You're actually coming up with these are fears coming up as excuses, coming up as being realistic, right? Kind of a little formula there. You can make time. If you have time to watch TV or scroll on your phone, you have time to go into like follow your passion. You can wake up 30 minutes earlier and exercise, right? Everything is possible. It's about if you think it's possible and if you actually want to achieve it. Okay, so back to the exercise. Write down your most delusional vision or just sit there and visualize it. Take like 5 minutes. Okay, I'm not telling you to go meditate for an hour. Take 5 minutes, 2 minutes if this is new to you. And just close your eyes and visualize something outrageous. Like maybe you love singing. You're singing on stage and like in a huge studio, stadium. Maybe you want to DJ and you're imagining DJing at like Lollapalooza. I don't know. But whatever it is, just visualize it. Close your eyes. Imagine yourself being there. And then your whole dream, imagine like flying home to your mansion, to one of your 5 homes. This is how you're going to get even like one home. Okay, you want to have 17 homes? Great. You're gonna have to start somewhere. But if you only think you're gonna get one dream home, you're gonna like struggle to get there. Okay, being realistic is gonna make life much more of a struggle. It's gonna take longer to achieve things. And that's that. And it's not fun. Okay, being delusional is so fun. Do you know how much fun I've had in the last like 2, 3 years of my life? Because I just keep dreaming about these things. Like I wake up every day thinking, ooh, what else can I achieve? What else can I do? I still have a full-time job, like my corporate job, while I'm like recording a podcast. I have the time to do it. I'm making the time to do it, whether it's after work, before work, or during a lunch break. I make the time because this is what I want to do. It's my dream to have a platform to speak about this, to talk about this stuff. It's my passion and I love it. Okay, realism is always going to be there waiting for you. You can be realistic, but imagination, that's where the magic is. That's where the difference is. And I'd rather live in magic than realistic. Like again, I've had so much more fun the last couple of years dreaming delusionally and playing around with ideas and just manifesting them and getting closer and closer to them and pivoting when I need to. But the whole time I'm playing, I'm being a kid again with responsibilities. Sure, I pay the bills, I save, I invest, I take care of my fitness and my health. I do errands, I do laundry, but I'm also dreaming. The whole time I'm dreaming. I'm visualizing my future. Crazy delusional goals, and I keep changing them all the time. And I add more, I take away this. It's fine. It doesn't matter. So you have no excuses, is my point there. No excuses. Be like a kid, right? Dream bigger. The only way you're going to achieve any goal is by dreaming of a bigger goal, right? That makes sense. If you want to be able to run a 5 minute mile, you have to start by running, right, that 10-minute mile. But you got to dream of that 5 minute. That's going to push you to run faster. I don't know where that example just came from, but I just keep pulling them out. Okay, so I'm gonna wrap it up before I keep spitting out more examples, more stories. But I truly hope that this hit home. I hope this inspired you to start thinking about your dream, where you think you're being realistic, where you're holding yourself back. It's not bad. It's not like it's not a problem. I just want you to start thinking differently. I want you to start believing in yourself and knowing what's possible and start having more fun in life while being responsible, right? While doing what you need to do. But when you dream bigger, when you start imagining these crazy things, you're going to achieve so much more. You're going to have so much more success in every single aspect of life, career, fitness, relationships, and so forth, friendships, everything. Okay, so with that, again, if you have not left a review, please do so. Please share this episode if it really hit home and you were inspired by it. Share with someone you know that needs to be lit up, needs to be inspired a little bit more, is being too realistic. I know I have a lot of people in mind that I hope hear this. Again, it's not bad. It's just something we gotta shift. It's a mindset shift. All right, so with that, I'll talk to you guys next week, and that's it. Love you. Bye.